Welcome back racers to the channel, and this video is highlighting the fact that this region, the Asia and the Oceania region, is the dirtiest of all of the regions. And I can already hear you going, James, you can't say that, someone's going to get offended. But it is the gospel truth. I've driven in all of the regions at this level. This is a B to A plus lobby. And it's just so dirty. As you're going to see here, look at how far this Lamborghini is behind me. And you guessed it, just a little tap. And that tap is enough to send me over those white lines as I try and keep it in a straight line and not spin around. So he does get a 2-second penalty, and quite rightly so. Now, I know what your argument is going to be. It's going to be, but James, that could have just been a mistake, and I'm all for that. And I totally understand that because I too make mistakes myself. But these 3 races are back to back. So I did this race, then I did the next race, then I did the next race. And it happened in every single race. So you can imagine my levels of frustration building up over these 3 races. So I will give this guy the benefit of the doubt because he did apologise after the race. But there we go, that's over and done with. He tapped me, he apologised, that's fine. Let's move on with this race. So we have a couple of seconds gap now between us and Satogumi, the Japanese driver, in first place. So we're just going to try and reel him in over the course of the next couple of laps. He did set a faster lap time in qualifying than us, so I would imagine that he would be faster. The next lap, we just close that gap just a little bit and we set a fastest lap. The next lap, once again, we set a purple lap and go into the 1:29.3s, which I am pretty sure is faster than my actual qualifying lap time. So it's good to know that I can go faster in race, or at least keep pace in race. Satogumi in front then picks up a ½ second penalty for running wide on T1, and that is really going to help us as we are dragging him towards us. He even goes a little bit wide, and when I say a little, I mean way wide on turn number 3. We're now in the slipstream and he has to serve that ½ second penalty. This is giving us an opportunity to make a move down here. We show to the left and then we switch back to the right, and before he can react, we are up alongside and on the inside, more importantly, into that tight right hand corner, and that is how it's going to stay until the end. You got done, son. You got done. A little bit of trickery there. Love that move. Really been utilising it recently. Show him one way, go the other. Gapped him on the last lap as well, and that's going to be a very good win from a dodgy first couple of corners. So we go again then, starting in first this time. We don't have that Japanese driver to deal with, but we do still have the same Australian driver behind us, Pagoni _ We get a nice run through turn 1, and looking back, we do actually have a little bit of a gap as we did get out of that corner better than he did. So by the time we get down to turn number 3, we do have a 3/4 tenths gap on Pagoni behind us, but we know what happened in the first race and it's going to happen again. He's just going to send it up the inside, contact's going to be made, and he's going to go up into first position. He actually said after the race that I turned in on him, so that was my fault apparently. But as always, I want to know what you think, so let me know what you thought about those 2 incidents, the first race and obviously the one that just happened here. Let me know in the comments section below. Now, as you can imagine and as you can see by how I went around the last corner, I'm a little bit rattled, I'm a little bit frustrated. I go deep into this left-hand corner again, and Gearick Special just goes up the inside. I catch a slide that's not there, and I go a little bit wide, manage to regain it. There is a little bit of contact, not his fault, that's my fault, but we do get a second penalty for running wide initially. So, as first laps go, that is not a good first lap. We have gone down from 1st to 4th, and we had to serve a penalty as well. So when we do serve that penalty, we actually go down to 5th as another Lamborghini passes us on the outside, coming into the heavy braking zone, coming down this hill. We do manage to get him back as he goes a little bit wide there, and we just sweep up the inside. We also manage to catch up with 3rd position by the final lap, and coming through turn 1 we get a better run and we can set ourselves up for a move into turn number 3. Doing a very similar move to the one we did in the first race, we shifted over to the left and then moved to the right, so we had the inside line into the corner. coming out of the corner, getting nice on the power, nice and early. That sees us up to 3rd place, and we are going to come across the line in 3rd place. So, a little bit frustrating, and tensions are building as first race we got tapped off at turn 3, second race we got tapped off at turn 3. What do you think is going to happen in race 3? The good thing is we don't have that Australian driver to deal with, but we do have this driver behind us, Ms. 840808. We do have this person, and I don't know where that flag is, so if someone wants to educate me in the comments section, please do. I do like learning stuff from you. Coming into turn number 3 then, we are going to receive another tap. Now this is the 3rd race in a row. And yes, I am frustrated, and yes, I know what I'm about to do is wrong and I shouldn't do it. But I'm very, very frustrated, and all I want to do is to let him know that that was a bad move that he did. I'm going to tap him in his rear left wheel, just to say, hey, I didn't enjoy that, maybe give me back the position. That's all I was thinking. I did not, I repeat, I did not want to ram him off the road. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. But obviously he thought that he had done nothing wrong, and he saw this tap as a sign of aggression. And boy did he retaliate. So there is my tap, a little tiny tap in the booty. He then retaliates and puts me onto the grass, but then he puts that nail in the coffin and firmly buries me into the shadow realm. I do, however, partially save the spin, and we only go down to about 9th, but coming into this corner, we do have those dirty tyres. That just makes us painfully just slide off the track and all the way down into last position. Not very good. 3rd race in a row that we got tapped off at turn number 3. Pretty frustrated, but we are going to use that anger. We're going to use that aggression to try and fight our way through the field nice and cleanly, and try to catch up to that play. He's serving a penalty just there, so he obviously got a penalty for our little incident. But as always, I would like to know your thoughts in the comments section below. Are we just going to question the penalty system once again? Because yes, in a nutshell, he tapped into me and overtook me because of that contact. So should that be a penalty? Obviously, we can look at it from his point of view. He's just been aggressively tapped in the back of his car. But should he react in the way that he reacted? I know. I shouldn't have reacted the way I did. But the consequences of my tap were nothing. They were minimal. The only thing that could have come of it in my brain would have been that he would have gone, oh yeah, actually, yeah, I've tapped into you and I should probably give you the position back. Obviously that didn't happen, but he obviously saw what he did. There was nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong with tapping me in the back and taking that position. But anyway, it happened 3 races in a row, so this cements my argument that the Asia and the Oceania region is the dirtiest region out of all of the regions. But James, you can't make that. You can't say that. You can't make blanket statements like that as a content creator. You know, yeah, I can, and I just did. This is the dirtiest region out of all of them. Yes, in the other regions, you do have those dirty nations. In Central and South America, it's usually the Brazilians and the Argentinians. Then you move to EMEA, and it's usually the Spanish who get the bad rap. But over here, it just seems like a free-for-all. It doesn't matter if you're Japanese, Chinese, Australian, from Hong Kong, they are all at it. They do not care. And yes, that is my blanket statement. Don't at me, and I'm sticking with my decision. Now yes, obviously there are nice players in every region, and actually we have some really cool channel members and also a lot of subscribers from the Australian plains. And obviously, if you are a nice driver yourself in this region, don't take it personally, because you know I'm not talking about you. And I know there's going to be a couple of snowflakes that are getting all uppity and starting to cry in the chat right now. But this is genuinely what I have found out when racing in all of the regions recently. But I would like to know in the comment section below who you think is the dirtiest nation or the dirtiest region, because we all have our favourites, we've all had our run-ins with certain racers, and I would love to know who you think is the dirtiest nation. Obviously do it in a constructive manner and don't be a dick about it, because these are all opinions and don't take other people's opinions personally. That's not how opinions work. But anyway, let's get back into the race, because we have ranted, or I have ranted, for about 5 minutes. After that incident on lap 1, all I wanted to do was to catch up with this player once again, and we are slowly reeling him in. We are coming onto the start of lap 4 now, and we have made our way up to position number 9. There he is in position number 3, as you can see on the delta on the left hand side. There we go, at the fastest lap of the race, a 1:29.4. So this aggression, this anger that we are driving with seems to be helping, as we see ourselves into the slipstream of the Supra in front of us. So we're going to get a nice tug job down this straight and up into turn 3. It's really turn 2, but they class that sweeping left hand corner there as a corner. So he runs a little bit wide, and that's going to put us up the inside, and we are in the slipstream of 7th place as well. So easy move, didn't lose any time there at all. And when you're trying to claw your way back to the front of the grid, it's very easy to lose time when trying to overtake slower cars. So, and there he is. He must have had another mistake or another penalty, because he is down from 3rd place all the way down to 5th, and we can now see him, but he does have a buffer of 2 cars between us and him. And we have just a lap and a half to get past those 2 cars and then past him as well. Is it going to happen? We are the fastest car on the track. Can we go about getting past these guys nice and quickly and efficiently? The last 2 corners on the track, very easy to get penalties here. Keeping it in 4th, slapping it down to 3rd to get the rotation, and now can we get a nice run out onto the start finish straight. The Moses effect happens. I've seen it so many times on Super GT videos, and it happens for us at a really, really good time. With those 2 players dispatched, we have our eyes set on that player in front of us, and boy, are we closing him down. He though has 2 cars in front of him, and what we really want is for him to start battling with them. That's going to slow him down, and that's going to close up the gap between us and him. Really attacking, but this guy in 3rd position actually has a half a second penalty, and it is going to ruin our chances of catching up with the player. He now has a 1 car buffer between us and him, and it's just not going to happen. We're going to try so hard, but no matter what we do around each corner, this player in front of us is just a little bit slower than us, and we have to just accept it. There's no way that I'm going to be barging past and making moves like that anymore. So I just have to sit behind, and you can tell the amount of gap that he is creating in front of us now. I can't go into the back of him here, so I have to sit behind him, and it's very, very difficult to overtake through these last 2 corners unless that player in front makes a mistake. So unfortunately, no redemption. No redemption. We do not get our revenge by beating him outright. But a silver lining, the player in front does get a half a second penalty, so we do get 5th position. And that is going to wrap it up for this one. Obviously, a couple of talking points in that, and I can't wait to read your comments down below. So thank you so much for watching, liking and subscribing. Thank you to the channel members, and we'll see you in the next one.